Hello and good afternoon, everyone. How are we all doing? Welcome back to another stream. Just let me sort my camera out. I'm just permanently having camera issues at the moment, but this should all be fixed just in a second. I just need to turn it on. Hope everyone's having a good day and everyone had a good weekend. We do have Justin on, as you can see, and I will be on the screen right now as soon as I select this. Let's hope there's no thing. There we go. Back as usual. And we do have Justin. How are we doing, mate?
Not bad, mate. Yourself?
Yes, very well. Thank you. Very, very well.
We've got a very benign day, Dave, compared to the last 2 weeks.
We have, haven't we? Yes, we have. Interesting bit of price action, to be fair. Yeah, compared to the last couple of weeks. And we do have Short Video Guru. Was wondering where you are. Yeah, a bit late today because I had something to do this morning, which took up quite a while of my time. But as soon as I got back, I got the stream loaded up for you guys. We got Wiz, we got Spud, JC, we got Airdrop Love It saying Bangladesh. Well, thank you very much for telling us where you are located, mate. Hello to you as well. Howdy, says Steve from Bangladesh. Well, thank you very much for joining from Bangladesh. That's great to know. We have Jason saying GM. Everyone's saying where they are. Well, yeah, why not? Why not? We've got Subrata saying India. Do make sure you drop a like on him. And if you are new, subscribe. Bullish on my two favourite people, says Wiz. Oh, you are a little darling, isn't he? He's a little flatterer.
He's lovely, isn't he?
He's a little flatterer is what he is. But yes, obviously, as we can see, if we go to the daily chart, for those of you that was that was in the stream last night, was obviously looking at the previous couple of Mondays. Everything with a yellow arrow underneath is the previous 4 Monday candles that we've had. And then, we had to go back 5 weeks where we finally got a decent Monday candle right here. The rest of them was absolutely chaotic, which was good for obviously volatility in the market, but overall, there'd been some pretty wild introductions to each week the past couple of weeks. Even this one, when we got the all-time high, that absorption on the upper wick there made it look very ugly. So interesting, but as you can see here, we got terrible. I mean, I can't remember, mate. I don't know about you. The last time I seen 4 dojis in a row like that on Bitcoin. It's 4 candles.
I can tell you, if you look left, Dave, there was 3 or 4 more at the bottom of before we moved up.
This bit here.
Yeah. So like so many bloody screens open. Yeah. So the 11th, 12th, 13th of Jan, similar kind of candle formations. Yeah. I was looking at this yesterday.
Horrendous couple of days in terms of price action, but we obviously are getting a little push up today. And we for those of you wondering what happened last night, well, this was a simple liquidity grab that we was looking at yesterday on stream last night. I don't know if it'll still be up. No, it's refreshing it. There was a big chunk of liquidity on pretty much all time frames down just below 95k, which, as we can see, we come down, grabbed it very quickly reversed, and then we did go on to finally break this diagonal properly. Obviously, we had this on Friday, which was a little quick burst over and drop back below, Burj Khalifa sort of pattern. But we have sort of convincingly broke it now, and then obviously had the push up there afterwards, which we planned for last night on stream. So anyone who took this yesterday, well done, and hope you made some money. What are your thoughts on the market, mate, when you woke up today and seen that we didn't have a little dumpy do in Asia?
My personal view on crypto at the moment is it is just dull. Quite frankly, it is completely and utterly boring. I personally, for me, I'm not in any trades whatsoever. It's just it's such a choppy zone, and I think the risk reward that's there and the likelihood of getting chopped up, it's just not worth deploying capital. So for the last week or two, all I've been doing is trading more commodities 4x and stuff like that, because it's just, at least that's semi reasonable the way it works and the price action. But I've got my triggers for Bitcoin, which I think we briefly touched on last week. And until we break out, I'm just, or at least get some form of test at either end of the range, I'm not interested at all.
Mm-hmm.
Literally no interest whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because it's just in the chop zone, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we go back, I can't find my mouse. There it is. If we go back and have a look at what it's been like, obviously since we got that move up, I think, was it last week? Yeah, it was this. It was obviously this candle, wasn't it? It was the back candle last Monday. We pretty much just chopped down slowly, aren't we? We'll probably see it better on the 4-hour chart. So yeah, as soon as we got that recovery, it was just bounces being sold off, low eventually, and then obviously we found this sort of support low time frame here along this, and then we tested that obviously last night, come down, grabbed a decent amount of liquidity below 95k, and then closed back inside, and then as we can see, we've properly broke the diagonal now on the 4-hour as well. But yeah, this was pretty much just bounces being sold, compression of price, and that's pretty much all it's been. If we go back and have a look at the previous range, this is what I was looking at last night was. This is how sort of this range started off, wasn't it? If we look at, this bit mostly, it started off as a horizontal range, resistance, support. But then obviously eventually we got the sort of chop more into a diagonal channel instead of a horizontal range. And that's sort of where, as we can see, the similarities between this, the start of it, and this. But then obviously we went more diagonal. Will we see something like this again? I don't think we'll probably repeat a diagonal channel, but
so how many days have we been in this range?
Maybe, but I can't see it.
So we are
70 or 70 odd.
Yeah.
So it's obviously longer than this one that we had. That was 49. Then this one in 2023. That was 210, and then obviously the big one, this one, I think this was like 260 or something.
Yeah.
So we are. Oh no, I think this might be 100 actually. Now let's see. Let me go and see.
90. If you go from the compression that started around about the 85, I think it's about 90 days. So about there, yeah.
Yeah, 90 days. Yeah. So we are up to the third longest consolidation on Bitcoin this cycle. Obviously, this one was quite short relative to the rest. And then obviously, we had two big ones, but we are slowly creeping towards the halfway mark of these two, sort of. It is a cycle of consolidation, isn't it? Is what it is.
But it's that compression consolidation areas, then pump, then I've got a chart for it. It is basically just compress, pump, like every single time. There's no real decent pullbacks, or from what I've seen so far.
There's not. It's pretty much just chopping people up in ranges, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's all it is. Just chopping people up in ranges, making, driving people mentally insane.
The thing is, it's such a big asset
now.
Because of the market cap now, it needs that consolidation phase to actually build the liquidity to then move up to the next range.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't surprise me, but I'll show you my charts in a minute, but I just don't.
Yeah, you get it on, but I mean, this is a standard Saylor buy, this, isn't it? This is probably what sent us up last night. The standard say you can tell every time they announce it, you can just see on the chart where they were buying. And I imagine this was it because it was a fairly chunky buy. But I'll put if you want to share your screen, mate, you're more than welcome to put your chart on if you want.
Share screen.
Here
we go.
But yeah, how much did they buy? I've got it. I think I've got it here. Where is
You
it?
buy more last night then?
Let's see. 742 million more they bought. Yeah, so this would have been, this was him, I'm guessing, walking the price up last night. So, yeah, he's just obsessed, isn't he? He's obsessed. But let's throw your chart on for you. There we go. We're on. Bang.
We're on. We up and running, Dave? Yeah, so just looking at where we are now. So you've got this funny candle formations here, and then it seems to be repeating. So this whole zone, this green area, until we've tested either side of there, because we've clearly got the level to gain at this point.
Yeah.
But it just, these candles are just weird, right? It's very undecided and just shows how much liquidity is sitting each side of where the current price is.
Yeah.
So my personal view, where's my chart for it? Not that one. So yeah, this is a similar chart to what you had, Dave, of like measuring the moves.
Yeah.
The compression and move, compression and move. So every single time we've moved out of compression, it's resulted, the worst case has been 81% pump, but everything else has been like 100% pretty much every time. So when I was doing this the other day, I was looking at it from a pure, just basically copying the previous price action like this. We're in this flat effectively for the time being. And personally, I can see we need to finish this leg down that we're in now. Then I think we'll retest the highs. What I can see, I don't think we'll make a new low. I don't think we go as low as this that candle on the 13th of January. But then I think we take out the high up here, but then reject again.
Yeah.
So then when we come down, this is where I think we make a low. And if this is right, then we've got another, 4 and a bit weeks in this phase before we probably we break out. But every single time we have one of these consolidations, like we have here, we need, unless this candle here was the equivalent of this, every single time we've had that last kind of liquidation that happens before we move out the range. And that's what I sense we're going to get again. Dave, do you mind if I just pop away for 2 minutes? I've got someone at the front door. 2 seconds.
Of course, mate. Yeah, you do that. Yeah. No worries. Go on. We'll carry on looking at that. Obviously, when Justin is back. But it is. And if you actually go back and have a look at Bitcoin, this is the first time really in history that we've saw something like this in terms of expansion, compression, expansion, compression, expansion, compression. You know, the last, if we look at the last 2 cycles, we've never really had anything like this before. You know, this had a period of weeks where it went sideways for a little bit, but then it was never really too much. If we go back to last cycle, it was pretty much just one straight line to the upside minus this pullback, which lasted 3 weeks at most, and then back up, and then obviously pull back here, second leg. We've never really seen something as bad as this in terms of consolidation and compression. But it's pretty, the good thing is it's pretty easy to identify and pretty easy to trade if you just treat it as a range. You just go from support to resistance. You don't really treat it as a breakout at either end unless we confirm it. And then that's it. You can just easily just ping pong the price to and from support and resistance. And that's pretty much where we're at. If we go to ETH, and have a look at the ETH weekly close. Wasn't too good on ETH. Obviously, we wanted to hold above this white line here, and we closed back inside. So we're back inside this range now, which means it's going to be a bit of a task on for ETH. Let me get rid of these. Yeah, there we go. It's going to be a bit of a task on for ETH now to close back above this white line on the weekly, which is imperative for more upside action now. So that's one thing I was looking at this morning on ETH. And you're back, mate.
I'm back. Sorry, there was the good lady wife was down at the gym, and a plasterer was coming around to quote a job, so I had to let him in. Now she's back. He's here, and I'm back with you.
Fantastic stuff. We've got Reggie Man saying, thought you were still sleeping. No, I was a bit late today. I had some important business to do. You love Bert, mate. I don't love the PA on it at the moment. It's horrific. And we've got Reggie saying, if Saylor has brought... which what?
What was that? What's the PA looking horrific on?
Bert. Meme coin. Yeah, horrific. If yeah, really bad. If Saylor has bought, are we going down at open? Potentially. We'll have to see. I don't know. Someone said in my stream last night, I don't know if they were taking a piss or not, but apparently that New York was closed today. Is that right or wrong? I don't know whether they would. I don't know whether they were jesting with me or not, or if it's true. Obviously, Sure, they don't have a holiday the day after the Super Bowl, do they? Or do they? I don't know.
No, shouldn't they?
Maybe they were twisting my arm. I don't know. So I actually haven't gone and checked either way.
I've not looked.
I would assume that it's open. Surely the day after the Super Bowl is not a holiday, but maybe.
So
you wouldn't put it past them, would you?
So the pre-market for the SPX is slightly up.
Right. So we are open today.
I think so.
Yes, seems like it. I think so. Rin says, I think we got to keep a close eye on CPI and the trade war situation. There could be more downside before another big leg up, potentially. Washington's birthday Monday. Oh, that's next Monday. So is next Monday President's Day? So is that next Monday then? 17th. So next Monday, not today. Okay then. Okay. Interesting. But yeah, we do have, like Rin mentioned then, we do have, I'll let you go back to your screen in a sec, mate, but we'll just have a look at this. So we do have some key things going on this week, actually. There is pretty much something every day. We do have... No, and then we've got, obviously, Powell is testifying tomorrow and Wednesday, which I don't think will be anything too much that we're probably not expecting or that he's not said before, unless he does throw a curveball. But we obviously have got CPI tomorrow, PPI on Thursday, and then retail sales on Friday. So pretty much something each day, just to add to the excitement of the market.
Do you think it's going to move? Do you think it's going to move out this range anytime soon?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. If I was to like have to give an answer, I would probably say, yeah.
You do? You think we're going to move out the range soon?
Yeah, because I think if we don't move out of it in Q1 or early Q2, we're probably going to create another one of the long ones, and then it'll probably be late Q3 that we move out. So I could see if we let me remove all this shit. Hang on.
That's your negative.
So I think if we don't move out, yeah. So if we don't move out of it until say, where would we go? I'd give it till. Like late April is really cutting it fine.
I don't think it goes that far.
No.
Looking at the previous,
we'd have to really start moving in March at the latest. But I think if we were still in here, then we would probably go all summer and then probably come to like Septemberish. So I could see it just doing this. Maybe it creates another downward channel, but something like that. Maybe a couple of spikes down or whatever. But I think if it doesn't move in late Q1, at the latest, very early Q2, I think we're in store for another one of these or these. Probably this, I would say, is probably more structurally what I'd be looking for as opposed to like a downwards channel again. Probably just an extended horizontal range.
Yeah, that's what I've got it in, because it's very clear ranges or not daily closes at the moment. So it doesn't look to me like we're doing anything. So my trigger, one of my triggers, is either retesting high 80s, early 90s, like properly retesting, or we regain above that 101.3, but probably 106-ish kind of area on the daily needs to be claimed. And like a proper claim, not like a just tipping over the edge. It needs a proper solid candle over it. But any reason you've chose September?
I mean, one thing I do disagree. That's one thing I very much disagree with is this.
I don't see.
No, I don't see this. So anyone waiting for a clear retest of this range, I think you're going to be waiting late end of the year, maybe early next year, for a clean retest of this. And then even then, I don't think it gives it that easy. I think we probably cut into the range a bit to scare people, trap them, and then
it'll clear people out first. It'll
like even if it was, I think it would come down, people would long it, it would give a little bounce, and then it'd do something like this, bang, really rip down, and then maybe bounce, retest the underside of this, tail off back into this range. Then it's probably what I would expect. But yeah, I don't think it would give people such a clear SR test to then freely long, come down, scare people, take them out. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I do disagree with the retest of this. But I think we could. Yeah, it's either going to be we move or we're in for the long haul again this year.
But the thing is, I'll just quickly chuck my screen up. Sure. Do I need to put the screen back on? So, obviously, at some point in time, yes, we're going to retest. But every single time we've consolidated and then pushed out, when we've got to the next consolidation point, once have we come back down and retested it. Even here, we didn't retest this breakout, this compression here. This was a liquidation.
No. Yeah.
So to me, when it happens, if we continue on this path somewhere like out, we're not just going to cleanly. I can see this leg here finishing above this point here. But then when it gets to this point, this is where I think we get the compress here, manipulation down, and then like to clear all the stops that are kind of just been building here. I just can't see it being allowed to just do this, because there's just too many stops that have just been built up there. But this zone that's underneath here, this area, this is the fuel for us to break out. And until we properly retest that, I don't think we've got the energy. You're not just going to go straight line from here. I just can't see it personally. I think it needs to build liquidity. Like I say, I think down, but a higher low from here, then push up in whatever fashion, sweep the liquidity above here, which will give us the nuke that goes through here. Then I wouldn't be surprised if we just sweep below this, and then that's the catalyst. I just if other people see it differently, fine. But that's what I'm preparing for at the moment. I don't see any positive catalysts that's going to. If Trump being elected has not pushed us out of this range, or not being elected, being sworn in has not pushed us out of this range, what other catalysts are there that's going to do it? I just don't see it. So my personal view is, as you know, I had various triggers for looking at this. So trigger one was I wanted to see Bitcoin dominance kind of sweep up this past this order block, which we've kind of done now into. So we need to break down to like kind of down here to get an alt season.
Yeah.
Personally, I can see us ranging all the way in here. Maybe even take this high out here before we come down. But that's one of the triggers. But we're definitely in a point of interest at the moment. So I think this is partially done. Obviously, the Bitcoin thing, for me, to long it, I would only consider it when we come and retest down here, or we reclaim above that area, and then you can trade the range to there. But really, if you wanted to be safe long, it's the breakout of 106. So that's another trigger. And then I need to sort out my charts. As we discussed before, I think that gold is the other trigger. I genuinely think that to get the capital rotation.
Oh, look at that.
What's that, Dave?
Yeah, that's a big old today.
Yeah, it's pushing up. So.
Yeah, I did it today. That's a big old candle.
Yeah, it's another one that keeps chugging along.
Yeah, this is like the finality of what I think was it last week or the week before you discussed sort of this exact scenario, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So it's in my area now. So it's reached that point. So somewhere in here, we're looking for the big rejection, and then I think I showed this before. So depending on what kind of how far we break down, if we get a 30% pullback, which would fill this void down here, effectively that's what's that? That's 30%. So that's 6 trillion potential of capital, or capital that could flow from gold to crypto. If it stops around about here, it's about 20% pullback. So you'd be looking at 4 trillion. So I don't even, where are we at? So these are the scenario. This is another trigger for me of where gold needs to go. So if you're looking at the weekly on Bitcoin, the way I personally see it is the trigger to break out of here and probably get to around about like the 120, 125 area before we get a pullback. I think that's gold that kind of gets us there. And then depending on if we push up to 200 plus, I think the rotation from here, this leg up from there, I think that would come from the SPX rotation if it gets to around about here, about 6,600 I was looking at. I think looking at the time frame to get here, I think gold takes us to this leg, and then a combination of gold distribution and SPX distribution could fuel this move here.
Yeah. So that's an interesting chart, isn't it? So obviously we've got a top, a deep correction, and then you're expecting it to potentially go again.
Yeah.
Which I mean that in itself will be a mega run, the second one. But yeah, I mean, to trade that downwards, then back up, and then down. I mean, and then down again. That would be something. What would you? Are you sort of trading that on time frame, or just what you see? Then would you be expecting?
I'm just looking at stuff and going, what makes sense? Catalyst. What do we need? So if you're just looking at the total charts or total chart, where is crypto likely to go in this cycle? In like, where would you say we go this cycle? Do we go to? Because really, we're only at 2021 highs here. So you've got to think we're going to at least 2x where we are now, right? So 2x takes us to 6 trillion, right, from last cycle.
Yeah.
So that's up here. Are we going to 2x? Personally, my thoughts is somewhere between 9 trillion and 7 trillion.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
So if we're at 3 trillion,
I mean,
now,
that would be a mega site. Yeah.
If we look at where we are now, so you're looking for somewhere between 4 and 6 trillion of additional inflow, which obviously has to come from somewhere, which again comes back to the gold thing and comes back to the SPX, and then you're looking at the potential rotation. So, yeah, that's quite, at the moment, that's my view. And so for me, the triggers to break this range is gold topping out and starting to distribute, Bitcoin dominance, which we're kind of there. Bitcoin even retesting. I would potentially consider trading Bitcoin from around about 92,000 on daily close, or if we break out and retest 106, I'll trade it then. But up until that point, I have got next to zero interest in trading it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because it's just choppy. It's just choppy.
And you know, it's obvious that there's groups of people having a lot of fun with it. You know, the games that are being played are pretty diabolical on anyone who's trying to actually actively trade this range, because they're just getting chat all over each time.
Yeah.
So you know, there's the powers that be that control the market, and they're definitely having a lot of fun at the moment, with just pretty much just messing with people. And that's not just this time, you know, that's obviously last time, the time before as well.
It's all part.
So yeah, you are.
It's not targeting any of us. I mean, we are, unfortunately, as much as we may have high hopes and dreams and aspirations, we mean absolutely nothing to them, even as a collective, because we just don't really move the dial. They're chopping up other hedge funds and proper capital. And it's just like things like this. Any of these patterns that come on charts, that's not like that is just market makers making the chart look like that. That's all they're doing. And because then you can just induce in whether it's the pattern traders, the support and resistance traders, everything is just inducement. And it's just, to me, this is just going to continue breaking down until we retest there. Anything until we've retested this area, to me, unless you're scalping like low time frames, I just don't think there's any point doing it. And then altcoins I've not even looked at alts. What do we look like? Let's have a look at ETH Bitcoin. Bitcoin.
ETH didn't have the best weekly flow. It's actually quite bad.
To me, it looked like. So I drew this at some point last week, clearly. So I was looking at this kind of backtest area.
And that probably comes, for anyone wondering. Yeah, that probably comes on the next Bitcoin breakout, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because we will see Bitcoin dominance shoot up again eventually, whenever it does break out. If it, when it breaks towards 120, 130, whatever it may be, that will shoot up again. Yeah. And that will probably be like the final but then we will see a tail off again on obviously altcoins will move with it, but in terms of the strength against Bitcoin, we'll see it.
This chart, this ETH Bitcoin, it just looks like a bag of shite, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It looks utterly horrendous.
It looks like a lot of meme coins that have launched on Pump Fund, doesn't it? It looks like. It looks like the meme coins that have gone on Pump Fund. They've had the time. If that was say like a 1 hour chart or something, you only took it from the left hand side, you would say, yeah, that looks like a proper shitter.
That looks like a slow rug to me.
It's just, it's very, very slow rug, very slow rug. But yeah, it's I don't think there's too much to get excited about until we get that final. What I would consider anyway, and obviously what you're planning for is that final leg up before we do see a major correction. Which at that point then, we should, in theory, get some distribution on Bitcoin. Altcoins run. We have a decent few weeks, and then deep pullback into.
Yeah, I mean, altcoins themselves. Anyone that thinks that alt season is like literally days away, in my opinion, and from what I understand how the market works, Bitcoin needs to break out first and foremost from here, and whilst Bitcoin is having a nice day here, unless we close probably up here, this doesn't mean anything. This could be a nice little liquidation, and that's it. Yeah. I genuinely hope I'm wrong, but this could go up here and then absolutely shit the bed again and close back in this range, and then all you've got is another doji.
Yeah, you only have to look at Friday's PA to just look at how quickly it can reverse. Within 15 minutes, we could be sat here and we could be back at the Daily Open.
I hope so. Do you know what,
within 15 minutes, that's all it takes.
I would prefer this just shit the bed and come down and retest here, because then at least we've got something to trade.
Yeah.
Because it's no interest to me in this current rate. But so that's got to happen. This looks just horrendous. I don't think, this is an open back test here, but I'd like to think we don't come down that low. But yeah, down here, especially with that wick down, this looks like we're going to probably fill this in and come all the way down, personally.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we did go down that low, but not now, maybe in like a year or two, because really, when you look at ETH BTC, whatever bounce we get is probably going to be a high time frame lower high, in my opinion. I don't think that we go all the way back to the highs on it. I think it would probably be a high time frame lower high, which then would in theory, we just continue the downtrend into like the next couple of years, which is probably what I expect to happen, to be honest, unless they make some serious development to the network, which would then stop people going over to Solana and that. Which then then you could look at it and be like, right, okay, yeah.
Well,
maybe.
Sol looks on the Sol Bitcoin chart looks better than ETH Bitcoin in my opinion. It looks stronger to me.
Yeah. Miles, but I haven't checked Sol ETH either in a while, but I assume
that probably looks.
I assume that probably looks quite decent still as well.
And look.
Yeah.
I actually done something right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like it's obviously resistance, breakout, retest, and now off to the races. So that looks pretty okay to me. I'm going to add that to my.
Yeah, I would probably expect to see that towards point 1 at some point.
Yeah, up here.
I'd probably expect it to trade up towards there.
I mean, at some point, Ethereum will pump hard. 100% it's going to pump hard. But I just don't think we're there yet. And until Bitcoin does its thing, yeah, I just don't. If Bitcoin stays in this range like this for, where's my chart? Like how I anticipate where it just stays there for the next few weeks, maybe alts do get a bit of breathing space, because I do think the next leg up here, if it liquidates its high, this could be the fast move that pushes down pretty hard. And if the dominant, if capital hasn't rotated into alts and given them 30, 40, 50% bounces, which they might get from once this leg's complete, this could be brutal. This could be like the final hammer blow that kills them for forever. But that doesn't look too bad. I don't know what the rest of the charts look like. Others, yeah, looks like we're going to probably I think there's such easy, clean levels now where stuff's going to bounce off of. It's pretty easy to see what's what. I would say relief. We're in a relief bounce mode. I do not believe we are any real bullish momentum, personally.
No, because all we're doing is going back to testing. What is it? The weekend highs, or was it the? Yeah, it's the weekend highs that we're testing.
So we had the high on Friday. So I shorted.
Oh, yeah, last week, innit? Yeah, like sort of last weekish. Yeah.
I'm looking to potentially. I might.
It's nothing to shout about. Yeah.
But the thing is,
it's nothing to shout about yet. But if we do get above there, then obviously, then we can start looking at higher then. But yeah, until we get there, it's literally just price doing its thing in it because at the moment we're just in a low time frame.
It's just
that's all we are.
Look at this. Yeah. What kind of price structure is that, Dave? It's just
Well, it was more trading like a meme coin last week, wasn't it? Than Bitcoin. It was just like quick rips up, then just as quick drops down.
Yeah.
There was no sort of like there was no sort of structure to it at all. It was just literally just liquidating people both sides constantly.
Yeah. That's all you need to know where it is at the moment. It's just liquidate, move, chop around a bit, and like the alts in general are just been sodomized to within an inch of their life, haven't they?
Yeah, pretty horrendous. And I don't.
So where do you stand on ETH, Dave?
On what?
What's your thoughts on ETH at the moment?
Well, at the moment, we're just back inside the previous range, aren't we? Now after yesterday's weekly close, so until it gets back above there, it's literally just stuck back within the range now. So regain white
It just
level.
looks rubbish, doesn't it?
Yeah, like regain white level or nothing, pretty much. Like it's not doing anything until we regain that white level.
Yeah, so
until
I will look to. I had 3 scenarios. I would look to long from there. I'd look to long from there, or potentially long from there. But
oh yeah, imagine a sweep of that wick.
But the thing is, you've got the liquidity here. You can obviously see it built up here. It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, it's just, again, unless you're trading it on, what does the 4-hour look like? I mean, it just looks crap, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean the weekly close was the main one, wasn't it? You know, it needed to hold above on the weekly close, and it failed to do so. So until we see some sign of strength, then there's no point in getting excited about ETH at all. Or I mean, where are you going to long it to? For me, right into resistance.
Yes.
That's literally that's where you go into, isn't it? You just literally just going to long it right into resistance. You're better off waiting to see the reaction at resistance for shorting it, or obviously like reclaim, like you said.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like you either, for me, where are them scenarios? Let's do them on the lower time frame. So this is an easy gain, and then you just run it up to kind of these levels. Down sweep of this wick is pretty easy and quite an easy invalidation. And then I'm sure that this, so just a retest, because we just nuked all the way through this. So you have got the order block that's there. So again, and then you can trade it to here.
Yeah.
But outside of that, again, I'll just look at it and go, I just don't fancy it at all.
No. I don't. There's just no point because you're just trying to second guess it, aren't you? Like it's towards the top of the range, but it's not there. So
yeah,
there's no point. The one thing I was waiting for was the weekly close last night, and it failed. So you may as well just ignore it for now and set alert. So do whatever you want, but until it interacts, the top, or like you said, the bottom, there's just no point in even looking at it. Just set alerts and walk away.
Yeah. I was just seeing one of the, who else has been sodomized? I think most people that have been trading alts is the answer to that. I think most people spot that.
Sodomized mean?
Pardon?
What does sodomized mean?
Google it, Dave.
Okay, let me see.
Just think of body pumped. Basically.
Oh right, okay. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I see exactly what you mean. Yeah, I think that's accurate. Yeah, that is very accurate description. Like we said, very accurate description of alts. You'll get demonetized if you say, well, I've already said it now several times. So we're saying when Sol season. When is Sol season? Let's see. Let's go and have a look at Sol season.
I don't see any season whatsoever until we see some strength in the market in general. It's because again, you only have to look at those the total charts. We're still above the 2021 all-time high for the total market cap in crypto. Yet most alts are absolutely smashed to bits. So we need, I would say from this point, my first goal is something like 4.2 trillion. So we're about $1 trillion short at the moment of capital to kind of at least give all coins and everything a bit of a relief. And I just don't. I don't think we're ready yet. Unfortunately, I wish I could be the bearer of better news.
Yeah,
but are there any?
I mean, I'll be honest. The amount of time. Yeah, I mean, we could look at Well, I mean, let's see what's moving. But I mean, the amount of times that I've thought recently, why did I not just go all in on Bitcoin instead of? Honestly, I think that must come across my mind at least a couple times a day at the moment. But yeah, there we have it. Let's see what's moving. Popcat's having a decent day. Oh, Fartcoin is moving. Fartcoin's moving quite a lot. 36% today. We've got.
Look at this. It's when did Popcat actually launch? That's the thing. It's a very false sense of security with these things. So it's 325 million market cap. So we tested about there. So June 24. So for some reason, this doesn't go back as far. But what do you really look for here, Dave? Give me some spiritual guidance. What do you? Yes, some people will say, right, we're breaking out, or potentially breaking out. But
yeah, I mean, it's a good question, isn't it? Where do you start? I do think that memes do have a resurgence. I do think that they have now. Whether that means all of them or just a select few is obviously a different question, isn't it? But I do see memes having a resurgence over just mass utility pump. Utility will move, but in terms of what will move more, I do still favour memes. I think to move more than utility. Yeah, I do. Yeah, utility will move, and a lot of them will move quite aggressively. But I think as a collective, I do think that memes will still move harder than utility for the rest of the cycle. Could be wrong.
Most of the memes have been absolutely battered, right? So to me, I don't know if this is the full chart or not, but there's probably still need to fill in this wick. But what do we really want? This doesn't look. We've had some nice candles here. Is it worth a punt from here?
It's like that meme, innit? Yeah, it's like that meme, innit? Like the actual picture where the chart's just like down only, and then there's one tiny bit of green, and then the cartoon guy's like, "Oh," like that's exactly.
Yeah,
the chart's just down only. We got one bit of green. It's like, "Oh."
You would want to kind of probably like do something like that to get in, but to me, you kind of want to test up here somewhere, at least. Or
a lot of them probably won't come back though. Do you know what I mean? We could see it. We could see new ones emerge or whatever. Does it? Yeah, like a lot of them probably won't. A lot of them probably won't go back. I mean, that thing is horrific, isn't it?
But the thing is, due to unpopular, I've had most of these memes charted out for ages, and all of them, hence why I had these kind of moves on there, had these retest points, and people initially thought I was utterly mad. But yes, you get these relief candles, but is there anything in there that says strength to you and says we have finished distribution? Nothing I see there.
No, absolutely not.
I don't see anything there that goes, yep, this looks like this is ready to. So if we chop back down, something like that, maybe. But there's no point if we. There's no point stopping here. So you're going to probably liquidate that low at least. So to me, that is, you can see weeks. And most memes, if you look at the correlation between memes doing well and what phase Bitcoin's in, Bitcoin needs to be distributing. And I think the next time Bitcoin distributes, you look at the correlation. When did this start nuking? So this had to run up and then it nukes down from there, right? So you look at a lot of memes that have done the same thing. We're around about the same market cap, probably, on the total charts, or not massively dissimilar from when they started, that those memes started pulling back. So all of these, where's this capital gone? On all of these charts, that same thing. So same dates, every single one of them. Where's that capital gone? And the answer is probably all of this. There you go. It's a nice little. There
it is.
That's the bonk chart. This capital's gone somewhere, and I suspect that a lot of that capital has rotated into other meme coins like XRP and Solana and some of those other Dino coins, because their highs correlated, or I think it's rotated from there into a lot of these US coins. But I don't think my personal memes don't go yet. I think memes will go after utility.
Yeah.
But all of them look like an absolute bag of shite. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. A lot of them probably won't come back. So you've not got the main ones, have you? Obviously we've got the main household ones, but ones like that have just faded away into like Book of Meme, Sundog, Rat. What else? Cat. I think that's down pretty bad, isn't it? Cat. I think that's down pretty horrifically. I think. Yeah, like a lot of these probably, they'll probably maybe get a high time frame, lower high, but we might see new ones emerge, or who knows? But
I will. If we get down there, I will bid Doge at around about 20 cents. I think that's probably that's probably a decent RR on that. But they're just all just rugs, every single one of them. So,
I mean, well, that's an interesting discussion in itself, isn't it? Trump and Melania. Obviously the Melania launch coincided, didn't it, with this? Really, that's when altcoins really started taking a battering, wasn't it? As soon as Melania launched. That was when, I mean, they wasn't looking too good anyway, but then they've really been put to the sword since that Millennial launch.
Yeah, but the thing is, the capital's just clearly rotated from, I'd say, you actually, from the highs, we've lost from the highs, early December, mid-December, we are 600 billion down. Which obviously is quite a lot of that comes from Bitcoin on its own and ETH. But like memes have taken absolute smashing. So where has all that capital gone to? And I suspect it's gone into a lot of the dinosaur American coins. They're the ones that are still holding up. So what are you thinking?
The pump that some of them had, I mean, HBAR did it.
Yeah.
HBAR 10x, Algo had a massive run, didn't it? Obviously XLM and XRP as well, and then there's probably one or two more in there as well.
Yeah. What do you reckon at New York Open, Dave?
I think we'll probably go down because I think whoever's trying to jump on that little move that we had is probably going to get wrecked. So I think we probably drop down a little bit, and then I do actually think we probably rally throughout the day. But I do expect maybe that low there. So before that move started up, wherever that low came in at, I do maybe think that probably gets liquidated. So like 97,280 or whatever it is, 97,250. Wherever that low was before that 1 hour candle we had last hour. I would expect probably that to get took out, take everyone out who's tried to follow this impulse move, and then run it back up.
Just having a look, see the
because that candle is more than 50% done now. We've retraced more than 50% of that last 1 hour candle. I mean, if anything, all that probably was just the market taking out people shorting the Saylor move. That's probably what that was. Because obviously, typically, people try and short when Saylor announces he's bought. Probably just a massive clearance of stops and liquidity of people trying to short the Saylor announcement. And then we're coming back down now, and then we probably liquidate that low of the previous 1 hour candle to that, like 97,230 or whatever it is, I imagine. And then I think we probably rally throughout the day, is what I would say. Interesting though is the reaction to SBX every time it's pushing. At the moment, it's got a little 3 peak on it. On the hourly, every time it tries to get that all-time high again, it's just getting slammed each time. But so far, it's created a little 3-peak pattern. So, I mean, that in itself is very interesting. The reaction to that every time it gets near all-time high.
Yeah. So we've at the moment we're dancing with the previous weekly open. So it's just all mid-range, isn't it? Because like you look at last week's range, it's quite a big range, isn't it? So we got 11,000 as a last week range. It's quite a lot.
It was absolutely wild, that, wasn't it, last week?
But it hasn't really done much, is it? So Sunday. So we are currently right at the daily POC. So we've already taken out Asia session high. So it's either Asia low we go for, or the next liquidation point, which will be up here somewhere.
Yeah, and I'll do a little poll in the chat as well. I'll stick a poll in there now. Let's see. Let me know. What should we have the poll? Should we have the poll? Direction.
Direction at open.
Open. So let's have up. And let's have down. Do put your vote in the chat now. There you go. Poll's open. I was looking. Yeah, I was looking at the liquidity levels last night, and the 1 month time frame is starting to really look very juicy. I don't know if you've looked at it recently on the heat map.
No, should I stop sharing my screen? Check yours up, Dave.
I can whack it up, yeah. There we go. Swap it over quick. Yeah, so the 1 month time frame is looking very, very interesting. Obviously, we are building a lot of liquidity to the upside now for that final move. Obviously, there's a lot towards all-time high. But then there's also a lot, obviously, building to the low side as well. Now, obviously, it's my belief that we leave this for later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are, as you can see, we're really filling out this upside liquidity now to really drive this move higher. If we go and have a look at the 3 month, what we got. Yeah, there you go. So there's a really juicy bit at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 8. So that's 123,000. Nice little really juicy bit building there. But we do also have. So this is obviously where your theory that you talked about before would come in, and this is on a 3 month time frame. That is a nice cluster of liquidity there down towards 88, 87 for potential maybe last liquidation to clear that out.
Yeah.
And then go for this upside. Go for this upside, and then all this will be really, really juicy to be collected later this year or whenever it may be. Obviously, all the way down towards that previous high, down towards 70k. That's a lot of. I mean, that move from 80k downwards, that would be quick. That would be very quick once it starts to close all this.
Yeah, if you get that nice little cascading liquidations of just. But the thing is, at the moment, Bitcoin's under such a. They're holding the price or manipulating the price so obviously, which is absolutely fine. I've got no issues with it whatsoever. But I just, to me, we're just not ready yet. We are, unless someone else is seeing a catalyst that I can't. I just don't see it yet. I think we're stuck in this eternal range for maybe ever. I don't know.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, that's just on the 1 year time frame. That will get took out at some point, I do believe. 47k, 46k.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my levels. Nuke it, Dave.
Yeah, that will be the low of Nikki when the Nikki dropped August 5th. Obviously, the low of that whole range.
That would have been 5th of August, wouldn't it? Or whatever it was.
Yeah. The low of that whole range that we had, that will be collected at some point, I do believe. But yeah, liquidity is starting to build, and this is the thing, isn't it? Is people want a quick move, but you've got to let liquidity build up. You know, if you go back a couple of weeks, this was probably a lot more barren than it is now.
But the thing is, also, you need to build the trust, because at the moment, people have been absolutely wrecked. So you need to build that trust whereby people will actually go, right, I'm going to put liquidity back into the market. After that move on Ethereum the other day, I'd imagine there's quite a few people that are not piling into purpose positions. Like I say, for me to be completely out of the market, and have no interest in really trading the market right now, crypto-wise. How many others are thinking the same sort of thing?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
Effectively,
You're just opening yourself to get chopped up, aren't you?
Yeah. Sodomized.
Especially with how this as well. You know, Bitcoin's not on its own. This is acting very irrational recently. You know, like we see, obviously, all-time high print sell-off, which is, you know, typically not, you know, normal after a run like that. But then again, you know, slow grind up, rug pull. Again, slow grind up. Again on Friday, rug pull. And then we had this wild candle, didn't we, as well, today on Futures Open. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. But again, you know, took liquidity from below there as well. So that was a nice sweep. But yeah, this is also acting very irrational. And obviously, this is what's throwing Bitcoin around as well, isn't it? You know, every time SPX does this, Bitcoin's just having a rug pulled underneath it as well. You know, this lines up perfectly with, obviously, when Bitcoin dumped on Friday, when the S&P 500.
Oh, yeah. So Friday was just, yeah, that was ugly as hell, wasn't it? Just so as soon as that news that they're from Michigan, I think it was, came in. So we got a couple of seconds until we open.
We did.
Yeah, that news that came Friday, it was, everything just took an absolute pounding.
Yeah. I didn't even realise the time. It's a good job you said that then.
Get ready with the bell, Dave.
Oh, I've got it. And let's see what we get. You ready?
There we go, Dave. There you go. Right, so the SPX has opened bullish, but with a gap. Creative.
Oops. Yes. There we go.
Straight up. So what's Bitcoin done? Absolutely nothing. Where's the volume?
There we go.
Don't imagine it'll be
I don't know.
Massively aggressive move.
Honestly. I tell you what, has had Sol Season's had a nice recovery on it so far.
Nice
recovery back.
That's because the dev is a legend.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But nearly back up towards plus 200k. I believe Wiz said, I think this was a guy that bought up here and then just sold his bag. So yeah, I don't know what that was about, but I think that's what he said.
The range.
Yeah, this
is all of this stuff will do its thing as and when it's ready, and the market's just not conducive for it. I don't know what's happening with other like smaller cap alts, not alts, meme coins, but I'd imagine nothing's doing particularly well because people are just not. It just don't seem very active. I assume there's lots of projects that were released around Super Bowl.
I'll tell you what I have been seeing on my CT timeline. A lot of people now are really starting to call for a cycle top. You know,
are they?
Which is a very interesting piece of sentiment. Yeah, and like not just like, you know, just throwaway comments. Like, I've seen a fair few people say that they've sold everything. You know, they're out the market, calling for a cycle top. I've seen someone drew. Now this is obviously a high time frame level, but they posted the Solana chart, and the only level that was on it was $70. So I think a lot of people really are starting to believe that it's a cycle top, which is what we need, isn't it? That's what we need, because then that's how you get the FOMO back into the market.
You need them hopes and dreams crushed.
Yeah.
And once the hopes and dreams are crushed, then people are not in the market. And if they're not in the market, that means that there's opportunity that from the market makers that they'll jump in and take and fill the prices for themselves.
Yeah.
And then when it does go, what's going to happen? It's just going to green dildo big time, and people will just be left on the sidelines.
Yeah. So but I have been seeing that a lot. I don't know what everyone else, what have you been seeing on your timeline? But I have seen a lot of people say, "This is it. This is cycle top. I've sold everything." Calling for now, like real high time frame, low levels, like $70 on Solana. So I think it is doing its thing, and the market is doing its thing to grind people down.
It's just washing people out, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's exactly what happened last time, innit? That's exactly what happened last time. When we were stuck in that previous range.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened last time. It was just wearing people down and the market just doing its thing. But yeah, I just can't see a world where we've topped.
Personally, I don't think that's the world we're living in. Not because of anything other than it wouldn't make sense to me.
No.
Why would you build something for 3 or 4 years that during the bear market, and then basically do a 20% uptick on the market cap of the last cycle, and that's it?
Yeah. Exactly.
Can you see that? Because I can't.
Yeah. But it's like we discussed last week. We discussed it last week on stream. Literally, if that was the top, there would be no industry come a year, 2 years, because everything would be dead.
Yes.
It would literally just be Bitcoin and obviously probably ETH and Sol, and then maybe, a few other stragglers. But everything else would be dead. It would be literally like a desert. And then you've just got, Bitcoin as like a praying lion, just wandering around, just eating anything it can find, and just literally just taking the last liquidity. Everything will be dead.
But where would that then leave, like, the bottom of the next cycle? Us in the next cycle, because people will just be going, well, that's your low point. If there's no liquidity now at the top of the cycle, then your low point at the bottom of the cycle is going to be horrendous.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I just don't see it personally.
No, I don't.
Well, it's been
I don't at all. And then especially you just have to just sort of zoom out, and you go, are they really going to leave this behind? And are they going to leave this behind?
I'm quite happy to know that there's that kind of sentiment, because if there's that sentiment, that means we're edging closer. But I know there'll be a lot of people that are just not in the market at the moment because they just don't want to. They don't like the price action. Excuse me. Excuse me, Dave. Yeah. So if they're on the sidelines, then you can also kind of go, well, the market makers have done their job.
Yeah.
Well, it does appear that we've got a low volume afternoon because there's not much happened at all so far.
Yeah, and that's it. And the best thing you can do is just stick to your thing, innit? Just stick to your plan, and then as long as you follow your plan, then you've done what you want. And then if you're wrong, you're wrong. If I have to wear McDonald's hat for 2 years on stream,
I would rather get in position once you've actually gained a level and you've go right. We've shown some strength. We're at, and then we gained a level. We've broken out, and you go, okay, right now we've got something. Rather than trying to time the bottoms, it's a recipe to get absolutely bottom humped.
Yeah.
So it looks like
whatever that guy said before, whatever that word was,
sodomized.
Yes, that's it. Yes, yeah. We've definitely been demonetized on this stream now, that's for sure. Here we go. So we're coming down towards that level that I mentioned before. Let's see what reaction we get from it. I do suspect this will be at least the minimum that we take. Let's see. Oh yeah, coming down towards it now, and yeah, exactly like what we mentioned before, weren't it? About this getting retraced, completely retraced now.
Yeah, I hope so. I had my long order set last night on Bitcoin. It didn't hit, so I want it to come down.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed by.
Yeah. We'll see.
I missed by $600, less than $600.
But yeah, I think just got to wait it out, innit? I mean, I imagine there's probably most people here as well who's they're pretty much just fully allocated as well. So what you're going to do, you're just going to sell it all when potentially we're near the bottom of altcoin capitulation. I would personally just ride everything to zero rather than capitulate here.
Yeah, it's unless you bought really high.
Yeah,
there will be rotation, because the thing is, if everyone's hurting here or everyone's hurting in the market, there's people with much deeper pockets that control the market that will also be hurting just as bad at these levels.
Oh yeah,
because they haven't had that pump to be able to get out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I follow a Bitcoin veteran on X. I think he's been accumulating Bitcoin, and he's always been like sort of near 100%, Bitcoin for like the past like 13 years or whatever it is. Whenever he got in, he was in, very early, and he posted the other day saying that he'd heard off very reliable sources that quite a few 8-figure whales have blown up again during this range, which obviously 8 figures is 10 mil above, in it. So a decent, a decent chunk of change.
I tell you what, that is, that's a bad day at the office. I don't think I could emotionally cope with that.
No, but I remember it last time as well in the previous range. So that the best thing you can do is just try and stay solvent in it. Don't gamble.
But like I say, I took this personal decision purpose-wise. I do not have one perps crypto trade open at all.
No, I don't have it.
And so I've just reverted back to what makes sense. And I'm trading Forex, indices, and gold and stuff like that. It's just and I'd rather protect my capital, and then when something makes sense again, get back in position. But until then, you're not having my capital.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a complete scam, this, isn't it? I mean, look at the state of that. Obviously, we've got S&P dropping off, but I mean, that's just sums up, doesn't it? The recent Bitcoin PA, that is shocking. But we'll see what's happening. I mean, I think we either bounce from here or we're going to come down and I think retest this, unless there's a key horizontal level somewhere. Probably retest.
I would like it to drop below Sunday low. That would suit me quite nicely. I've got some bids set down there.
Yeah.
So somewhere in the early 94s, and then I will be looking to play.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, gold just continues going. It's just.
Let's have a look at gold, actually. Yeah, that's actually moving to the upside. Crazy. I mean, one thing that would obviously alongside natural PA, and natural organic price structure, I think one thing that could probably catalyze a top for this would obviously be, just sudden spontaneous news of one of the wars ending, something like that. Because obviously this is the best asset in it to rise during uncertain times.
Yeah, it's the safe haven, isn't it? It always has been.
Yeah, the safe haven asset. So yeah. So as soon as we get some sort of news around one of the uncertain events, obviously we've still got a Ukraine war going on. Obviously, I think probably the one that's probably closer to ending, in my eyes, would be the Israel-Palestine one.
It won't
I
take
think that's
much.
probably no, and I think with the way Trump's speaking about Palestine as well, I think that's probably in line to end first. And then it wouldn't be surprise me if the Ukraine one follows that quite soon after, because obviously the US is going to be giving Ukraine no more money now. So it wouldn't surprise me if maybe that one followed on.
I think, yeah, the ceasefire happens, or obviously has happened with the Palestine and Gaza. I think my chart that I had was that gets done and just kind of calms things down. Then you get the Russia-Ukraine thing sorted. I think Russia will be gifted something as part of to finish it. And then, but as a quid pro quo for that, Russia are going to have to throw their support behind the West, along with China, whoever else, to make sure that some of the other more troublesome Arab nations will be told in no uncertain terms to stop meddling with Israel and stuff like that. That's it's not my political preference. I have no dog in this fight, but I just suspect something like that will happen, and then you've got a united front, including Russia, that can kind of put some real pressure on people to start behaving.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, you heard it here first.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. And then obviously all that would, alongside, just a natural topping gold, that would obviously probably catalyze the top as well, because it's like, okay, there's no immediate threat to anything. There's no need to start throwing loads of money in gold as the safe haven. And obviously then that would probably catalyze the tail off,
which would then give you a rotation to crypto.
Yeah, so it's all one big trade, and
it's all wrapped. That's what I think I said before.
Everyone what we're looking at.
Everyone thinks that crypto's in its own isolated cycle. It's all part of the bigger world, and I'm not saying that there is a plan behind it all, but there is certainly some rationale of how things could fall into line timing wise.
100%, yeah, 100%. So we'll see, obviously, how that develops, won't we? But I do think, the next month into 2 months will definitely be interesting to see where we're at. From now, hopefully we've broken out. But yeah, I mean, if we're still in the Bitcoin range, then God help us going into summer. It is going to be one boring time.
Yes, sir.
However, another great stream, mate. I do like these Mondays.
Mondays solving world issues.
Yeah, that's it. I'm actually not streaming. I won't be streaming Thursday, Friday, or Monday next week.
How come?
Because I am in Dublin. I'm in Dublin.
Jesus, what is the internet? Maybe that could be the catalyst for the market to crash.
Maybe. So if you want, you can do Tuesday next week if you're not busy. instead of Monday. It's up to yourself,
Dave. I will make.
See if you've got something else for it.
No, I can make.
Yeah, if you want to do Tuesday,
no, I will make myself available for you, sir.
Oh, love that. Let's see what we've got going on in the chat. We've got big ads. Yes, the big ads saying, I don't think it is the top, but I do think most coins will never remake their all-time high as it's flooded with shite. A lot of coins won't make their all-time high again, yeah. I do agree. A lot of them will, a lot of them won't. It's just sieving through the shite, isn't it? Probably move sideways, says Short Video Guru. And got Liam saying, I think they will pump instead of dump. People are anticipating a dump to get back in. That would be too obvious. Pump to 120k, people FOMO. I do like that, yes, I do. And in the ground,
that will happen at some point, but I do think we need to have. We haven't built enough liquidity, in my opinion, to break out this range yet. And the timings with the other triggers, we're getting closer. Like I say, I've said it for a few weeks now. Gold, I think, is the trigger. Is what unlocks crypto. Yeah.
Which again, and each day that passes, if you look at the daily chart on gold, this big old daily candle we've had today, that's just another day closer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Each day that passes and we carry on grinding higher on gold is another day closer.
Yeah. So I would say around the area to really, really narrow in on is once we get to 2,948-ish.
Yeah.
Just be on alert around about that level. So from there, are we likely to? People are going to look to 3,000 probably as a point to reject and short from. So why would you give that? So it's like Bitcoin. Everyone's probably looking for 100 or 110,000. It doesn't get there. So I think somewhere between 2,950, call it, and up is probably the spot to. If we go above 3,000, then it's just going to carry on chugging.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if you go back and have a look, I think is it. So obviously the first time it got close to 2k, it didn't get there. It got to 1920-ish, and then obviously sold off aggressively.
Yeah, what's that move down there, percentage wise?
Where do you want me to go from top to bottom? Yeah,
top to bottom.
45, which took 4 years. The one thing about Thingio is that it is moving faster, isn't it? Gold now.
Yes,
it's because obviously you look at the stock market as well. That's moving faster relative to its price. The higher it goes, obviously the more money it takes. But obviously looking at it back here is no good because it was a sick for the price. But considering its size, it is moving faster relative to how it did.
Well, it becomes exponentially more expensive to make any kind of fractional move because it's that time.
Yeah. But very interesting. Very interesting. And it is. I mean, what is that? What is that a percentage now? So if we go below 3k, say like 2,980 or so.
Yeah.
It's another 2.58%.
It could be this week.
Yeah. Could be. I mean, it only really needs another 1.5 days like this, doesn't it? And then that's cutting right below the next millennium. So interesting. Very, very, very interesting for sure. We got Ernesto saying you bought Stonksy yesterday. I'll have a check after the stream. I wasn't around this morning. I had to go and pick something up, so I was out the house for quite a few hours. So I'll check for you straight after the stream, Ernesto. I got back and I had to jump straight on stream, so I haven't checked the orders or the emails. We got Arauchi saying they think that Coinbase whales are not in sync. How high, lol? On what, Gerard? We got Wizzo. Dave, are you going to give the charts a Valentine's Day pump? No, I won't be looking at the charts on Valentine's Day. I'll be in Dublin. So I'm going to turn everything off. I'm going to turn notifications off for every single exchange that I have on my phone. And everything's getting turned off.
I'll tell you what
days, I'm going to do my best. I might even delete trading. Go on, mate. What did you say?
The only thing that won't be turned off are the women in Dublin, eh?
That's it. That's it. If you are in Dublin, make sure you lock them all up. Otherwise, they might get stuck.
Get Stonksy. Get the buy-in.
Yeah, they're gonna get Stonksy. Justin, do you have any Valentine's Day plans?
Not unless you're asking me out, Wiz.
I think that's exactly what he was doing, wasn't it? I think that's exactly what he was doing.
Well, the rumor has it that Wiz and I are going to do a little joint venture with you at some point, though, on the stream.
Yes, I think we should get on as a threesome.
Turn it into more like a podcasty kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that would be. I think that would be unreal. Yeah. I think that'd be very, very good to do. Maybe if the three of us get on to get once every couple of weeks as like an actual trio, and we catch up with the markets.
That might actually start the ball run.
I think it might. I think it might wet myself as well when it happens. Wiz is going to be in Paris waiting for you. So he's in the city of love already.
Wiz.
He's in. I mean, them French girls better watch out as well. You know, with the Sol season devs coming to town.
Wiz is going to get his wand out in Paris.
Yeah, he's got pockets full of cash and he's ready to spend it. So yeah, watch out, the women of Paris. Wiz is on the prowl. Have you heard about Sol season? Is what he's going to be asking. Sol season. Do go check it out if you haven't. Wiz in the chat is the dev of this coin. And I do suspect if anyone was to drop a decent bag in this, we would see an almighty pump with how Solana's holding up.
Yeah.
Not too bad on Solana, to be fair. If we can get a decent pump on Solana, though, yeah, Sol season will have a decent pump as soon as anyone pops a buy in. Yeah. So we're now completed what I thought might happen in today's session. So if we do go below this now, I think we're going to Goblin Town, like you think, mate.
Send it to
we have swept that low now, so it's either I think pump from here or we're going to Goblin Town.
Zero.
Yeah.
Dave?
Most likely.
It's been
emotional.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been always an absolute pleasure. And do make sure you all drop a like on the stream, subscribe, and check them links in the description if you do want to try and long or short anything in this market. You will find a link to BLOFIN, first link in the description, the best non-KYC exchange about. But yeah, mate, until next Tuesday now, innit? The streaming until next Tuesday.
Good, man. Have a lovely time in Dublin. I'll see you during the week anyway, so in here.
Yes, I'll speak to you, mate. I'll speak to you probably today.
So, yeah. There you go. Can't give it too long.
But yeah, thank you, everyone.
Nice one. Stay safe, people.
Thank you.
Don't FOMO. It'll be all right.
Yeah, that's it. And big up to Justin for coming on these weekly streams and providing everyone with the wisdom and the alpha on the market.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll bid you farewell, please.
Keep coming.
I'll see you later.
See you, mate.
See you, Dave. See you, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, do make sure you drop a like on the stream and subscribe and follow. And that is all for today's stream. I'll be back 12:30 UTC time tomorrow to see what we've had in the markets between now and then. And yeah, do make sure you check the links in the description. Sign up to BLOFIN, sign up to Stonksy, and I'll catch you all in a little bit. Peace out.